Today's webinar will be about that AI won't replace humans, but humans who use AI will replace those who don't. So I want you to become humans who use AI and who will not be replaced by AI, but will basically use and leverage AI to do more, better, and impact the world better. As Evgeny mentioned, yeah, I'm Nikolay. I'm founder of Hyperskill and CEO of Hyperskill, which is a learning platform for hands-on coding. I also teach at MIT, and I also mentor in some Harvard and INSEAD courses, with basically everything around AI. And at Hyperskill, we also use AI to make learning more efficient and help people to learn how to build products. And we also have few new products in AI for education or AI for future work. And today's agenda will be about AI. Everything will be about AI. Like probably you may be tired about it from AI in general in the news and conferences, but I will walk through from basics of what AI is to how it applies to businesses and teams and how we operate, with some examples on finance, corporate finance, and we will end up with skills which I think are important to strive in this AI era. So what AI is? You probably know artificial intelligence, but I will start with some basics to explain, like later on, to explain how it affects applicability of where it's okay to use AI, where like it's not going, like not doing great, and what's possible now, what's not possible. So most of what we will be talking today will be about large language models and how to apply them, and agents based on large language models, how to apply them in a work setting. And large language models gained more popularity starting with ChatGPT almost 3 years ago. They existed before, but was not a big deal. Were not a big deal before ChatGPT were released. And since then, the progress and improvements are really like rapid and great. But to give you a perspective and foundation of what we will be talking about, is so LLM, large language model, is basically a like probabilistic pattern maker that generates the next words based on previous words. And for example, you as a user, you can write prompt. It will, like prompt will be placed in a context window of LLM. So it's basically input of AI model, and it will produce output. And output can be part of context window for the next prompt, if it's a chat, for example. Also for context, you can pull more documents, and people are calling it RAG or memory. But overall, LLM is just processing some input from the user and predicting the output. And it's, you can think like of LLM can basically predict the next word or next sentence in a book. So if you read a book, you stopped at some point, humans can maybe predict a little bit what will be next, and LLM AI, generative AI models are operating a similar way. So they're predicting what comes next after after the prompt, after the input to the model. And how this features, how it actually like what kind of features does it have? There is a interesting, like I think it's a meme, but maybe like it's real one. So there's a quote: "I want AI to do my laundry and dishes, so I can do art and writing, and not AI to do my art and writing, so that I can do my laundry and dishes." But nowadays, like AI can do art and writing, but cannot do laundry and dishes yet. So two properties of AI models which or like make them different from traditional software. The first one is creativity on demand. Basically, generative AI can generate original content dynamically. For example, if you want to write a poem, you can use ChatGPT to generate a poem for you, but you cannot use Google for that. Well, you could not use it. Google also have some generative AI features nowadays. But in previous era of more traditional software, you can find existing poem written by someone else, but you cannot generate original content. You could not generate original content with software. Now with AI, you can generate original content and like mix some content into a new one. So it's a new property of Gen AI, which we will also come back later, which is useful also in the work settings. And the second part is intuition at scale. So AI works more like intuition than like a traditional software. So basically, it can intuitively understand your requests, like make it professional, or like do not hallucinate, or like think harder. There is OpenAI released GPT-5 about a month ago, and they have like multiple models. If you prompt it think harder, it will actually spend more time on your request and will give you better result. The same as like humans and human intuition works. If you ask a human to think harder about your question, you will probably get better result, but slower. So AI is working similarly to humans and similarly to human intuition. It's usually like pattern, like recognition and prediction. It's fast, but it's not very accurate. Opposite to, for example, previous software like existed before, which is usually very accurate, very correct, because you need to write a software program, very formal definition of like what can be done, what cannot be done. So it could not understand some vague requests, but it was correct. Nowadays, with AI has the opposite properties. So it's not always correct, but it can be more like flexible in understanding what you want. I think it's a long slide, but basically I mentioned already that LLMs work as intuition machines, and they can make fast fuzzy judgments. They can bridge like unstructured world, human-like world, to structured one, so they can understand what's on an image, for example, is it cat or dog, or like what's written in a document, or like can understand some weak signals, like what's the style of this document. Is this like, I don't know, this comment or like recommendation, like angry or happy or something like that. So LLMs can understand and get weak signals, the same as humans, but at the same time, they have the same limitations as we humans have, opposite of like traditional software. For example, we can be confidently wrong without any evidence. So we can hallucinate. If you remember, like students on exams, usually for students, it's better to answer anything rather than I don't know. So LLMs and AI models also sometimes are confident because for them it's better to answer something even if they're not sure, or like there is no evidence and so on. So there is like sometimes it's hard to work with AI because of hallucinations. Also, LLMs are weak at math and any like analytics and formal calculations, the same as humans. So we humans need to think deeper and longer to do math. The math is not intuitive, and sometimes like you need a pen and paper or some additional like or computer to do math. And the same for AI. So AI cannot do math well. Recent reasoning models can do it by using the same constructions as we humans do, use. Like a pen and paper, and AI can also reason using words and come up with a math solution. And also AI, same as humans, limited to data quality and prompt framing. So you can ask, a common prompting technique is to ask AI to act as accountant, act as developer, act as someone else. So if you frame your prompt and provide some data to LLM, LLM will answer based on this framing and this data, even like if data quality is low, for example, and but like LLM cannot understand whether like it's wrong or not if that's the data it sees. So overall, there is a contrast between LLMs as intuition machines and more traditional software as analysis machines. And the good stuff happening, and we will talk about it later, on intersection of these two worlds, basically by using AI as a intuition brain, but putting it in more formal structures we human usually like work in, and that's where AI usually works the best. If you, by the way, if you have any questions, meanwhile, yeah, feel free to post them in Zoom. I already told it, but I want to emphasize again that AI, like LLMs, are similar to humans in many ways. And working with AI, prompting AI, is a little bit more similar to managing humans, managing people, rather than using software tools. Some AI products are built as more robust tools, and you can still like use them as any software tools before. But the best effect from AI usually comes from leveraging using AI the same as you would use your like colleagues or like team members, and prompting AI is similar to managing humans in this case. And also, it's important to understand that AI is usually like an average human. It's not exceptional in any way due to the like massive training of these models. Basically, the training process is you take all the data of humanity and train this model to predict the next word, next sentence, next action based on your prompt. And what it predicts, it's usually average. So that's why AI is writing like average text or do some average stuff. But the same cannot be applied for humans. Sometimes like we humans do something averagely, like on average. And AI is especially good in these areas where you don't need any exceptional performance or any deviation from average. For example, if you need to write like unimportant email, like average email will work. You don't need to do anything exceptional, and AI can do this for you. But if you, for example, designer or you are like building some like non-trivial like business model in your business, AI will not help you, like will not obviously help you in it, but you can still use AI to speed up your actions and decision process. So back to prompting AI is similar to managing humans. We, as humans, are all becoming managers of AIs. Before, for example, like you need to hire a team, hire like junior people in a team, train them, and so on. They will act as average human for like a first year or so, and then they will become much better. Right now, everyone can use AI to basically have unlimited free junior colleagues who can do all kind of like routine tasks. They cannot be exceptional. You need to manage them, so you need to provide more information. The same as when you ask a person to do some task and you provide a context to this person, you give additional details, you answer their questions, and so on. The same works with AI. You need to provide additional details, you need to answer questions, and so on. So the work, all kind of work, even like individual contributor works nowadays, are becoming in some ways similar to management, team management, but you manage AIs instead of humans, and you create like policy for AIs, like prompts, you supervise how they act, and so on. You still need to, usually you need to be accountable for the result, but you can, you can delegate the exact like small tasks, regular tasks, routine tasks to AI and be more productive. So let's now talk about the agents and AI employees as consequences of what I've told before. Basically, AI agents technically, so it's a little bit technical slide, but we have LLMs, which are large language models, and you can prompt something and they output something. Basically, AI agents are similar models, but with more memory. So they remember the context, like what you told before, like maybe some additional information about your company or about anything, any previous sections and so on. They sometimes have tools, so they can act using tools. They can send emails, they can call people, they can ask you about something, or they can write code and run this code, for example. So there are multiple variety of tools, same as we humans have tools to do our work. For example, we use Zoom, and AI agent can also use Zoom to call a person, for example, and voice something. And the retrieval part is usually, for example, search. So AI agents can retrieve some additional information, some additional data from internet, from your like internal knowledge base or something like that. And using this LLM equipped with memory retrieval tools do like take some actions on environment and get a feedback. For example, it can like send email to the customer and get a response, or it can like talk with some person, or it can like do any other automation. So basically, AI agents are stateful like LLMs that can act on the world, on an environment. And usually AI agents combine this intuitive kind of brain with more structured actions on the world. And overall, so I think it was the most technical slide for today. And overall, what we see in work is shifting from dashboards. So previously, we as humans had dashboards like what's going on, what's happening, or some data and information that we need to analyze, we need to act upon, we need to understand, and so on. So we used our brains to understand dashboards, or like dashboards in a wider sense. Then we moved to assistants, including AI assistants. So you can, based on some information, you can ask AI to summarize a document. You can ask AI to draft your email, but you still need to take this action. Like for example, for email, you can draft your email with ChatGPT, let's say, but then you need to send this email. and you need to interact with outside world by yourself. But we are slowly moving to agents and do our work. So, for example, you can have your email agent that answers your emails, or like at least like answers non-critical emails automatically, so you don't even need to ask any software or any AI to draft your email. It will happen automatically, the same as we used to hire humans for that. So we used to hire like humans who look at dashboards and take some actions and decide on something. But now small tasks, small actions can be done by AI, and foundation models are getting better and better. So for example, what was not possible a year ago or even like half a year ago is possible now, and accuracy is improving. So we should expect that more and more cognitive tasks will be done by AI, because they it can be done by AI. Now it wasn't possible before. And basically agents will do these tasks, simple tasks as for now and more complex in the future, and operate similarly as you would hire a person to do this task. And also they may, and it's a good pattern for any AI agents, then they can escalate something to humans. For example, if email assistant, email agent is answering your emails and you've got some critical email which requires like your personal attention or maybe higher level decision above this agent ability, agents can escalate it to humans, the same as previously, like a teammate can escalate this question to their manager or like manager of their manager, depending on how critical is it or how hard this task is. So basically, the company structure and corporate structure, everybody like will move up in a corporate hierarchy, and the lower level of corporate hierarchy will be replaced like by AI agents that will do the work, cognitive work, which were only possible to do by humans before, but due to AI, like these intuitive machines, it's becoming possible to do by software, with AI-powered software. So let's talk about autonomy level of AI agents. I've already like described it a little bit here, and there are multiple opinions on that. Actually, like on the next slide, I will show you a different version of autonomy levels. But what's important to understand that the complexity of and cognitive abilities of AI is improving, and the more and more complicated, hard tasks can be done by AI, like every month, every week. And for all kind of cognitive work, we are moving at this ladder of autonomy levels. So we start with read-only assistance. For example, you can summarize, like draft emails, prepare some schedules, like in ChatGPT, like this classic example. Then AI can propose you to make some actions. So it can help you to like build a roadmap for your team, or like a global road or something. So basically it can suggest you what you should do to make this action. Then on a level 2, AI can act with human approval, and there are already products about that. So basically, AI can send an email or like a post journal entry, or do any kind of small tasks you do with your approval. So before doing it, AI will ask, "Can I do this? Can I do that?" and so on, for every particular task. But interesting change, and I think magic happens on a higher level of autonomy, where AI is working autonomously from you most of the time. So it answers most of your emails. It like sending like inquiries to vendors most of the time by itself, but sometimes it escalates to human if something is hard. So basically, you have AI that works for you autonomously, and you act as a manager who can optimize their policy, optimize their prompt. You should solve like hard, complicated cases AI cannot solve as a basically human manager of this AI. But you don't need to prompt AI to do any action, or you don't need to approve any action. So it works more autonomously. And last level here is more about like multi-agent orchestration, when you have multiple agents and they can also work together. For example, some of them can do one job or one task, some of them can do another task, and sometimes they don't need a human, but they can discuss or decide something between themselves. So they basically don't have two humans who they escalate to, and these humans should agree or decide on something. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to ask. And as a next level of, well, not next level, it's another version of, so like, there is no ground truth in what I'm saying. There's like, it's very fast moving field and it's forming also. But overall, like, this is another version of levels of autonomy of AI agents. And it's kind of similar, but it has 5 levels, and well, this one also has 5. Okay, it's slightly different in terms of approvals, but overall, we as a human, as a user, are moving up in more like, so with on a lower level of autonomy. For example, when AI is not as good, or when a task is like very complicated and so on, we are operators. So we use AI very hands-on to do our tasks, our job. But the more autonomy I have, we move more to observer role. So we observe how it's happening, and we involve less, and agents will have more autonomy. And our goal is to design a team or the organization, and AI will implement it, will act on it. So again, on reiterating on what is AI agent. So usually AI agent is a goal-oriented software worker. So it's not a regular software tool you should use, or you can use. It's more goal-oriented. So it understands like the context and its goal, and it can make various actions which are not strictly codified as it was in classical software before. And usually AI agent follows some job procedures. It can use some tools like email, Slack, docs, documents, ERP, and so on, some APIs. So it can integrate into your digital workspace and act using these tools. It usually follows some company policies. So for example, depending on a company policy, it can do this, it can do that, like it can reply to emails, it can reimburse employees, for example, for small amounts and so on. So it can basically follow your policies, follow the job like procedures and processes. And important part, especially nowadays when this is kind of like Wild West and not everything is working perfectly and so on, it's important for AI agents to be transparent. So we humans understand what's going on, like what email like did this AI agent send, when, to whom, what kind of like action did it take, what kind of like approval did it receive from humans, for example, for this and that. So usually AI agents require more transparency and observability because they are not deterministic as classical software. Because with classical software, you usually understand the input and you can replicate it and understand the output. It's deterministic. It works like simply, like it doesn't understand complex instruction, but it's quite straightforward. AI agents are less straightforward. They can reason, think on themselves. They can do this, they can do that. They can hallucinate sometimes. They are probabilistic in some ways. And we need to know like what's going on. So AI agents should be much more transparent and log everything usually. So we discussed AI in general, like AI models, LLMs. We discussed AI agents as like enhanced, augmented AI that can take actions and use tools. And now we will discuss more business implications of AI agents and what basically is already happening in companies. I see it mostly on in software companies, especially where we have like lots of software developers with a lot of AI automation, and also it's happening in startups usually because startups are adopting these technologies faster. It's happening slower in larger companies and corporations, but I believe that the world will be there also in corporations and in larger companies. It's like some signs and some changes are already happening, and you can probably understand like based on your experience, your companies. So one change is teams are getting smaller, faster, and roles are less defined. Because if human is becoming, like all humans are becoming managers of AI agents, every human can do more, the same as if you have, for example, a team of managers and they can hire any kind of professionals, humans or AIs. These managers can do much more variety of things than it was before. Because before, usually like you have a team, you have some roles, some qualifications, some people know how to do some things, don't know how to do other things. It was harder to do variety of things, and it was harder to change. Now you need just like 3, 4, 5, 6 people, and they can do much more by coordinating dozens of agents. For example, if you're software developer, like you can do design now. Like it will not be great design. Like you will still maybe like need a designer to do a great design, but you can do average design by using AI. If you're product manager or if you're like just a team leader, you can vibe code. You can use AI coding tools to build some automation. So you don't need a software developer actually in a team to build some automations. You can do it by yourself nowadays. So you need less people, and this less amount of people can do more, and each of them are acting more as a manager to AI rather than like individual contributor with a narrow field. And yeah, maybe in the future, like we will have some teams, or like yes, basically we already do have some teams where there are like few humans maybe, but others are AIs, and humans delegate some things to AIs, and AIs are delivering results, and humans lead this AI team to a desired outcome. And overall, it also implicates these smaller teams and more powerful teams, implicates that humans are becoming more utility players, basically like diverse. So you don't always need a narrow profession. You can be like more broader expert, the same as managers. So like all I'm talking about, kind of similar for transitioning from IC to manager role. So managers, they don't need deep understanding of everything going on in their team, and they can be broader like experts. But by being broader experts, they can understand like what should be done and then delegate it to a particular employee or AI employee. And also what we see is budgets, like more budgets are allocated for AI and automation, because it's not like previously usually like buy SaaS services or any software from IT budget. Nowadays, some AI products, some AI automations or AI credits basically help humans to do their work. They augment or replace humans. And you can, and companies are doing it, allocating some budget from humans to automations. So we will probably see more spent on automation and AI, not from IT budget, but from payrolls. Another implication for businesses and overall how we do business is continuous operations. So if humans are not doing like end tasks, but managing AI to do this, AI can work 24/7, can do like much better, much faster, like instant responses. And also it's true for both external world. So for example, humans and we will expect better customers support from all products. Previously, like it was expensive to have 24/7 instant customer support, because you need more humans in like multiple time zones or working at nights. Nowadays, it's much cheaper to do, and customers will expect it to have. The same is true for internal operations. So for example, like travel, like reimbursements, like management accounting, like whatever, like any internal process, if it's mostly done by AI agents and supervised by humans, humans can still work like regular 9 to 5 hours, let's say. But AI will work 24/7 and will do most of regular tasks 24/7. Some exceptions will be escalated to humans, and still like customers or internal customers will need to wait for humans. But some basic tasks will be done by AI faster, and it will also speed up internal processes. So something where, for example, in a large corporation, like you need to wait for this approval, that approval, you need to wait for like this person to copy paste like from this system to that system. So when these processes will be done by AI for regular cases, everything will be faster, and even larger companies will operate faster due to automating some processes and basically replacing humans who do these processes with AIs. And one human will oversee like a dozen AI agents instead of doing just one task. Also, what we expect from humans will shift from doing tasks to creating policies, and we will expect more abstract decisions to make, not like how to reply to this particular person or whether like to reimburse this particular expense or not. Humans will do more like policy writing. So what kind of emails like should be answered and how, what kind of like expenses should be reimbursed and how, and like what rules are. So we will work mostly on a manager level of managing AIs. So yeah, it's the same as before. The same topic, like I already mentioned. We will work on a higher level of like corporate hierarchy, let's say, and abstraction of what we do. We will manage the process instead of implementing and like doing some tasks within this process. Also, I already mentioned that headcount probably will be lower. So we already see it in startups. I think like a seed or pre-seed, I think seed startups headcount is down from 15-ish to about 10, I think, in 2 years. So startups need less humans, less people to do the same as they needed like before. But they spend more on compute and SaaS. Also I think it's important for in like finance and budgeting perspective, more and more business model, like new business models appearing for software with new like price per result. For example, cost per resolution, per ticket, per invoice. So if you have previously, usually you had a human with some salary, let's say, and some software with price per seat pricing. So you had kind of fixed cost per month, and you could like process, for example, more invoices, less invoices, but it was not very flexible. Like you had some limit of how many like invoices you can process, and you need to hire one more person. But basically, the price were less elastic. Expenses were less elastic. With AI, usually you can like spin as many AI agents as you want, and it's just like a compute cost, and it's instant. You don't need to train like AI to as you need to train a new hire, and pricing will shift to more usage based, and it may change lots of processes. Also, it may basically be an opportunity for some businesses because you don't need to hire a full person or even like a consultant for some parts. If your volume is low, you can just pay for this low volume. But at the same time, it can make some accounting and basically financial planning more complicated because you will not be able to predict exact expenses or costs. You will need to bear. And the next part is data security and compliance consequences. Basically, when everything is automated by AI, data is important. If your AI agent, for example, if your company policy is not written anywhere, or your AI agent doesn't have access to it, like it will not be able to act. If you do not have any like information or like descriptions of processes, what kind of like emails should be written, let's say, or like what kind of expenses should be reimbursed, AI will not be able to help you. So data is becoming important. And also with this AI automation, like security is an issue and will be an issue because when AI is doing something, like it's for some use cases, like it's easier to attack a company, and it can be like a malicious attack or not. But as an example, like I don't remember the name of the airline where AI chatbot promised something to the customer, but it was not. It was hallucinated. It was not in a policy. It was not an attack, but it was basically AI agent acting on behalf of the company and promising something to the customer they cannot deliver, and then like basically a customer won in a court against this airline and got what was promised. But the same can happen in a malicious ways also. Okay, we have 10 minutes left. We don't have much time. Yeah, and talent and culture will change. Teams will get smaller. Everybody will become managers. Everybody will need to learn how to automate, how to manage AI agents. So it will be interesting change, like there will be less routine work because routine work will be done by AI, and humans will need to move like from understanding some routine tasks and clicking tools to more system thinking and building teams of AI agents. This is like basically a bunch of workflows, for example. So AI agents is nice word, but you can think about it just a workflow. So you will need to build a workflow that do your work instead of doing this work by yourself. And this will be true for every level in a company. Okay, so for finance perspective, there are some of what I've told before is important also to understand for like, finance aspect of the business of a company. So teams will get smaller, they will do more and move faster, and therefore every organization will do more and will like spend more, like get like I don't know, more revenue, like compliance maybe like a little bit more complicated, and also internal processes will be more complicated when your company is like is just faster. So imagine like your company got like 2 times, 3 times faster. Everybody is doing 2, 3 times more work. Also, operations overhead will increase. Also, the issue is that some data usually is scattered across banks, payrolls, like different services and so on. It's a good opportunity to use AI that can connect to multiple tools, multiple banks, for example, multiple payroll services. It's also true for global companies when you have like multiple entities in different countries. Usually they're like not easily integrated like with between different countries and different jurisdictions, but AI can do this similarly as human can go to this service, go to that service, and then merge the data. And basically, AI sweet spot is, as I mentioned, repetitive, document-heavy, like policy-driven tasks. So if something is clear how to do and is repetitive, AI can do it instead of human, and basically humans will write these policies, will lead AI to do something, and will resolve some complicated cases, and AI will do what is boring and repetitive. And good indication of what can be automated and should be automated, and you should consider this as a first candidates for automation, is usually high volume and low variation. So if something is repetitive, you need to do it a lot, and there is low variation. So every task is similar. It's good good for automation. It was good for automation even before AI, but now AI makes automation, both building automations and like running automations easier. So high volume, low variation. Second signal is clear rules and policies. So if something very codified, you have like very good policy of what can be done. If new hire, like new, for example, accountant can learn it in 10 minutes, like the rules of how should it be done, then AI probably will be able to also learn it very fast. Third interesting point is system hands-off, because some systems are not integrated with each other. Basically, AI that can access multiple systems, for example, like bank and email, they can use this information from both of this system and make some decisions on intersection of this data, even if the data is not integrated in a single system. The same as if a human has access, like human accountant has access to bank and to email, it can do like some actions in a bank, and it can email customers, for example, when they like receive the money, or like when they, for example, the company paid someone. So it's also good signal for automation. Yeah, let's let's move on. We have 5 minutes, but basically the first 3 I think are important, and we will share the presentation after the webinar, so you can go through it. And these are some examples of finance workflows, usually like procure to pay, parts, kind of approval, reconciliation payments, or like standard. So all standard procedures, especially if you have standard rules, are good candidates to automate and try to automate. Yeah, so procure to pay, order to cash, record to report, and spends, so like control, spend, and so on. And also, since AI is kind of smart, so like it's intuitive, it's like not very smart, but it can understand based on receipt, like what was this expense, was it like follow the policy or not? So you don't need to formally like write a software and codify these rules. You can operate on a human policy level, the same as you write for human workers to do this kind of workflows, this kind of tasks. You can also use the same policies for AI to do this task. Okay, we have multiple examples. We will skip them. And for AI skills, basically, it's important to know when to use AI and when not to use AI. So, for example, AI is not good at math. Don't expect AI to be good at like analytical tasks. If you give AI like a large spreadsheet with numbers, pure AI model like LLM, it will not give you a good answer. Like the same as if you give a spreadsheet to a human and ask a human to sum like 1,000 values, and you will not give them a calculator or anything, they will make a mistake. So know when to use AI, but also if you equip AI with a calculator tool, and most of AI products like ChatGPT and other actually can do calculations because they're not using large language models for that, they're using tools for that. And because of that, they can do analytical tasks, but they do it similarly as humans. They do it not with the brain, but they do it with the tools. So we use calculators, we use software to do analytics, for example. And it's important to understand when to use AI and when to use. Also, it's important to put more context in your prompts, and in agentic prompts and in like regular prompts, provide business context, guardrails. So think about prompts as your tasks to humans. If you don't provide enough context or like checks, guardrails, then you cannot expect human to do this task. The same for AI, like you can expect AI to complete your task if you're not providing enough context. Also, automating repeatable tasks and understanding how to automate is, I think, the most crucial skill right now, most important skill. Basically, learning automation tools, learning how to automate, how to run these automations, how to continuously improve them, and so on. And please treat AI output as basically drafts from your junior colleagues. You need to review them and so on. But keep in mind that AI is improving. It was really bad like 2 years ago, 1 year ago. It's better now. It will be much better in the future. So this junior team member will improve and basically will be able to do more and more tasks for you. And I will skip a few slides, but I still want to highlight the importance of continuous learning. This field is moving very fast. Like new tools, I didn't mention any like specific tools, but basically like new tools, new models, new workflows, new agents, like every month, every week, they're changing. Like some point, like some models are better. At some other point, some other models are better. Some solutions and so on. So it's important to learn this continuously and try new tools every week. Try them like in safe environment. Maybe like don't deploy everything on for the whole company at the same time. Try do some small experiments, see whether it works or not. Try some new projects and so on, and keep learning. And that's all for today. I think we don't have much time for Q&A, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And thank you. Thank you all. I hope you will keep learning these tools. Well, thank you, Anna.
Yes, thank you very much. It was really useful and interesting, and I hope you can share your presentation with us. Thank you very much, Nikolay, for this webinar.
Yeah, I have a little bit, a few slides. You can read through them, but yeah, basically like about what skills are important I think in AI era. But yeah, as I noted, keep learning, keep trying new things. There is no, it's like not very structured. Reality and practice is moving very fast. Keep trying new things. Don't be afraid of AI replacing you or others. Try to be the human who use AI and who is augmented by AI. And basically, you will be a manager of hundreds of thousands of AI agents working for you. Thank you. Have a great day, evening, depending on where you are.